Up now I can't hear you.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So, hi. Thanks for doing the Teach Now program with me.
No
Um,
problem.
Heading to the end. Very excited. Um,
Oh, good.
so, the lessons I'm going to teach um, overall are going to be I'm going to stick with first grade. And then
Okay.
I think I can use book clubs.
Okay.
And that way I don't need to reschedule anything. My
Mhm.
big question for you, though, is if I need to ask each of those adults permission to record some of the classes.
Do you need to? I'm going to have to look at our policy. I believe that you don't. I think what has to happen as is well, I need to look. I need to go back and look. So I'll find that document and send it to you. Um, I know that for like DCPS wide, you're allowed to record as long as you let them know you're recording and that this is for your own professional use. And but because it's part of a Teach Now program and non-DCPS employees will be seeing that, I need to get clarification for that. So I will find that document and we'll look at the wording for it. Um, I know that Reading Partners is able to record because they are an outside agency, but they fall within like the organization that DCPS is given permission for. So yeah, I will follow up with that.
Um, Classroom expectations and routines. I have been slowly teaching everyone to use Nearpod because it gives me an opportunity to um, use the Nearpod features. So, like, there's a poll, they can use the
Mm-hmm.
collaboration board. So, I'm going to start moving away from their notebooks.
Okay.
And that way, I can also, once they're kind of trained on, if you know, an ACE record the book we're reading. Um,
Okay.
so it has two purposes. And then once they are pretty proficient at it, if first grade wants to use Nearpod, I actually have an account that I paid for. Um,
Okay.
and it's a first, I haven't started with first grade, but second grade, it would took them like 10 minutes to figure it out. So,
Yeah, it is super user friendly. I think, side note, I'm going to give a PD on that and see if some teachers would want to use it. I think it's a lot user friendly for the younger grades who don't have as many technology skills. So I think that's awesome. I do think maybe you should take a do you see what was your level? What was the student level of involvement for using their notebooks? Do
it
you feel
was,
like that was successful or no?
I think it was successful. There was only one student, and it was Henneke, who
Okay.
struck. He has a hard time, I think, without giving him like a sentence starter. Uh,
Okay.
he has a hard time writing sentences. He also has a hard time concentrating in general.
Yep.
Um, but the reading component he's fine with. But that's part of the reason why I thought that Nearpie would be better because
Okay.
I can break the assignments into smaller chunks
Yes.
and they can be giving me not just writing feedback. The only drawback is they're not giving us writing feedback. Like, I think when they
Right.
come back, it'll be a problem, but their handwriting is so horrible, every single
Yes.
one, except for
And
the
I
reading.
and I think that that's why I was kind of questioning because I do like the components of the accountability piece in regards to them writing, right? When they go back to school, they're going to have to write for long portions of time. So I think, if there's a way that can take out a book to write, and on Nearpod it might say like write two sentences about X, Y, and Z. You may or may not give a sentence starter, but then they're required to write that sentence starter and finish it. And maybe the accountability piece is either um, they can like hold it up and share, or they can like verbally share what they've written, but they can only share if they have it written down. So you're able to combine them. because I think with the students that you're working with, we see that reading is very, very strong, right? Without a doubt. But that's not the case with writing. And so that would be my recommendation.
Okay. I can certainly do that, and I do think it will help them transition back, because yeah, like Parker's writing is
Yeah.
just. I mean, he can read it to me,
Yeah.
uh, but kind of like Gabe, like I can't read Gabe's writing. I can't read Parker's writing
Right.
really.
Right.
So, but he's
And I think realistically, the kid these kids, they're not used to struggling, right? And so this is a point where they don't really enjoy writing because they know that they're not like, as best as they could be with their handwriting and their just writing overall skills. So yeah, I would love to see that continue, if possible.
sure. How do you feel about second grade? Should I keep them on that too? Their handwriting's pretty
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, I would say overall, I would say there hasn't really been one kid that I've seen that's been a fabulous reader, above grade level on it, and their writing is up to par. And I think as teachers generally overlook the writing part, especially at the younger grades, because when you think about like grade level state, they have to write two sentences. Those kids could write two or three sentences. But when you think about how high they are for reading, it's not overall literacy because their writing is really lacking. And so I think that we need to really get them in this mindset of one, perseverance, like everyone's not good at everything, and this is how we get better at it. I think all of our kids need those skills.
Um, yeah, I for a number of times tried to do like in practice, but there's a reason why nobody wants to do that in class. It's brutally boring, um, and it's hard,
Hmm.
um, and so kids don't really want to do it. So it's easier in some ways to sort of skirt around it because
And I think, did first grade and second grade books actually come in yet?
they did. They're finally here. And I've been calling. I had this to have the rest of the fifth grade to come in,
Okay.
but everything is here. So there's
So I wonder, go ahead.
and some kids, some of the books you can only order four at a time on
Oh,
Amazon. I don't know why they have limited
okay.
like multiple orders still.
If we could send them home, um with, if since you're at school, maybe ask Mr. Roberts or Miss Jacobs if we can send them home with Foundations writing journals. I know that there's always tons of extras left over because kindergarten doesn't really use them. So we usually have a whole stack, and so those who finish are able to get another one. But when we think about their handwriting, I think that they're just not at the point where they can open up a composition book and start writing. And so since if they have to still pick them up, I would recommend throwing one of those in there. And then you could also make it developmentally appropriate where they can draw a picture, right? Um,
And
you
that's
know.
the note that they have is they have the preschool one where it has the sentences, the lines underneath
Okay.
them, and the picture at the top.
Okay,
They
good.
already have those.
Yeah.
Uh, so I think first and second grade, and then third gets the regular composition notebook.
Okay. If they have them, perfect.
Because I think that will helps a lot. And then learning standards, units, and objectives. It's the book stuff, and I'll have to put it into the Teach Now format.
Okay.
It's very odd lesson plan format, but it aligns with their rubric.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
so, and then their rubric is the standard teacher rubric, which you saw. They have
Yes.
a, I don't know if you have access to, they have like one that they wrote out that you can, it's like a scoring pad. It
The
like,
teachers do?
Yeah, did you get a copy? I can email you that. I'm not sure what they gave
Yeah,
you, but
you
the
can
one I
email it to
have actually is one that like you use to score the lesson.
Okay.
Um, but they I'm not sure what they did, and I can't really get access to what they send to the teachers. So
So what I could do, I can look through it. Like I said, the handbook, it was like I think it's like a Google Doc, so I had to request access for it. I did that this morning. I didn't go back and check to see if I was given access to it. Um, I could do that as I'm speaking to you. Yeah, right now it just says access denied. So I requested access. I'm just waiting to get it. Once I have that, maybe like once I am able to look through all the stuff, then um I might have it. But if you happen to have a copy, just you could just send that to me. I'm
okay,
trying to do it in the order of the way that the video said. So it said like step one after you're logged in, check out the mentor handbook. So I was like, okay, don't have access to that. I'll stop and wait before I hop around and then confuse myself.
okay, and you're trying to access it using your Teach Now Gmail.
Platform. Uh, no. Oh, well, yeah. No. Let me see. Mentor handbook. When I request again, it just signed in. mm, So I could request it through. It was requesting through my personal email. Should I just request through my DCPS email?
I
All
would,
right.
and I'll
Okay.
just email you later and just say you want to use DC Public.
Yeah, I can do that now. I gotta type in the code that they're supposed to send. Yeah, I'm waiting for the code that they'll send to my DCPS email, and then I'll request it through that.
But overall, I think that there's 4 video recordings,
Okay.
but those are the ones that'll be long. I think the rest of the weekly meetings will be like this, like 10 minutes. I'm gonna make myself like a checklist because
Okay.
that's just how I work. Just making
Okay.
sure that I'm touching on stuff every week in class and recording.
Okay.
So I'll make a document and share that with you because there's going to be multiple steps and there's so many different classes. I just have to have a way to check myself that I'm remembering everything.
Yeah.
Uh, so uh,
So what would be helpful for me is those four. Do you know the dates there was going to be the four longer meetings?
that's a good question. I can do that.
Yeah, if you could at least tell me those dates. I have a calendar that I'm writing things all off, but this time, like right now, I'm doing teaching in the morning and the afternoon. My schedule will change, but I just want to make sure that I'm not dedicating like, oh, I could do my planning here, and then I was like, oh crap, this isn't a 20-minute meeting, it's like a 45-minute meeting. So if you have any of those dates right now, I just put you down for Wednesday, whatever time we decided. So I did that. But if there's the date that we know is going to be longer, if you have that ahead of time, just let me know.
And I also was going to ask them um, if I can, if we can. I don't want to speed up the process, but if it's possible for me to do a lot of recordings at the beginning, like maybe even before school is done, it's possible that we can actually like finish this a little bit early, um, because they don't. There's not really a prescribed time. They're just trying to give people some space.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't actually need that, and I'm anxious to just finish work as fast as possible, just to get it off my
Yeah.
plate.
I
So I'll
also
get.
think it would be easier to do that if we're like stay everyone's virtual. If they start doing hybrid models, that will complicate it even more. So I totally agree with that. That's
I
smart.
yeah, I was like, you know what? Everybody has a string, and
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
happens, and it all falls apart. And
Exactly.
um, okay, so I'm gonna ask them. So it's possible that we might be done before um, the holiday break.
Okay, so what I'm going to do that's the case, I really got to find this document, so I'm going to search for it to find the wording for um the recording.
Do you want me to
I
ask
mean,
Mr. Woods?
right, no, I found the document. Uh-oh, hold on. It looks like DCPS took the file down. Let me um
Yeah,
let me look to see. I should have it on my computer. Norms for inclusive synchronous.
they had like a technology problem where they were reorganizing files.
Yeah, yeah, that I think is what happened. Updated video staff. Okay, this is September 24th. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to send you this document. I'll send it to you via Teams. So the original document I had, I think they took it down because of reading partners. Because they had to change a lot of things because reading partners had these logistics that they had to meet and they're all background checked and all of that. So I'm going to send it to you now. I will reread it or I'll read it after this meeting, but what I'm seeing more importantly is that um no, that was for one-on-one sessions. Read this, check this out, and then if this is not the document we need that gives you the answer, then I will follow up and find the old document.
Okay.
Okay, so in terms of students getting the book, I might be backtracking a little bit. Um, when have you started with some groups and not all? When do you plan on starting?
I've started with all grades already. Um, they're getting so I'm launching it by introducing them to um, Nearpod by giving them some digital citizenship lessons that are already pre-made. Um,
Okay,
so we're doing that. Apparently, fourth grade is already doing that. So I duplicated a lesson by mistake, which now I'm going to talk to Werner and see which one she did because I didn't know anybody was
okay,
doing them, blah, blah, blah.
okay,
But so I have those as a placeholder until everybody gets their book. But so far, I have called 60 people. Um, and so everybody seems to be on track to pick up books or buy them. So I hope that by the end of this week, not by the end of next week, that everybody will have a book. So we won't be behind.
okay. I just want to make sure that I'm communicating with teachers, so I'm gonna put a blurb in my literacy update. Oh, I don't know if I sent that to you this week.
It's okay.
I'll forward it to you now. Sorry, and I'll add you on that folder. Um,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, just so that I've talked to everybody's parents, gotten permission, let them, communicated with them, Anthony's parents, Joelle, all the new people. I'm finishing fifth grade right now because I've already talked to their parents once before. Um, and
Okay.
getting great feedback. I haven't had anybody say anything negative. So the kids seem to be
Okay. Okay. The reason that I just want to make sure that I know is because the kiddos who, especially the new ones, so they're not going to be seeing their teachers for guided reading anymore, but I don't want them to stop until they're officially reading with you. I don't want there to help ensures that they can be removed if you're saying by the end of next week. Let me pull up the calendar. So the week of Thanksgiving. Oh, I can't hear you anymore.
oh, how about now?
Yep, I can hear you. I think. Yeah. So does the week of Thanksgiving, does that sound about right where they can remove them from the groups?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And then that document that you sent me has the new kiddos added to it, right? Because I'm just going to forward that on.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm gonna I can actually, before you forward it, I'm going to update it by the end of today. I'd have like four people I haven't talked to yet, so I'm like hounding them.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and then it'll
Who are the
be,
four people?
um, one is Joelle, not Joelle. I talked to Anthony's mom today, Rachel, but her mom finally called me back.
Okay.
Jane's mom called me back. Let me look at who else. Jacob's mom, Jacob Adams in fifth grade. Um, Caleb's mom, but she's just kind of slow getting back. I don't think it's anything in particularly.
Okay.
Emily's mom in fourth grade. Again, I think it's. I think she gets my texts and remind, but doesn't respond because she is only speaks Spanish,
Okay.
so she doesn't know that. Acknowledge that I've talked to her.
Okay.
Uh, but and then the Land family. Um, I have been kind of talking back and forth um, with through the kids
Okay.
because I don't. I'm sure that teachers know that. I don't think that there's an adult there with them all day. I don't,
The what the land? Who what's
yeah,
the first name?
Ealing and
Oh,
Mary.
okay.
I'm sure they're
Okay.
fine. But he's like, oh, my mom leaves for work at 8 o'clock. You can call her between 7 and 8. And I was like, oh,
Okay. So if you, I guess, keep me updated on this list. I know Jane was a concerned student. It sounds like her
mom
mom.
was surprised to hear that she was not following through and was
Okay.
a little bit upset. And I was like,
Okay.
Jane's not in trouble. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, well, I'm going to make a schedule for her because this is not the first time I've heard this.
Okay.
So I think Jane is like maybe playing a little.
So so I'm sure you're not gonna have that issue moving
No,
forward. Did Tori come and pick up or
I don't know if she can picked up, but Mr. Chavis acted as though he never heard about this whole thing. So he was like, yes, she should be there and
okay.
pick up the
Okay.
book.
So then just by Friday, if you haven't by mid next week, give me an update on these. I know, yeah, just give me an update on them.
I will, and I'll make a list of who's picked up the books. So I'll come next Thursday and just double check who's not picked up and start
Okay.
pounding.
Okay, yeah, cause yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
That
will.
sounds good.
They,
Yeah, I feel good about it. Um, in terms of scheduling, you're in a good place, right? None of that's gonna change.
no, none of that's going to change.
Okay.
The kids have been like really good about coming when they're supposed to.
Awesome.
So, it was a little slow to begin with, but I haven't had to call anybody or call people in or,
Awesome.
um, so I think that'll be fine.
Great. I do think that when we figure out this recording, it would be nice to send this for all grades. Just record one and send it to teachers so that because had we been in school, I would have probably invited teachers to come see what the lesson is. Using these kids as if the teachers wanted to incorporate something or using them as models to be like, oh, I could, you're familiar with this. Like, but because there's obviously not that opportunity, at least recording it and putting it in those OneDrives and then just letting teachers know, like, us, here is a sample lesson, just so you know what we're doing, how the flow of it works, so that it's there. Not to say that teachers are going to sit there and listen to the whole 45 minutes, but um, it's nice talking points or even like report cards, like stuff like that, where it's like your child is doing a book club, they are working on X, Y, and Z. It would be nice for them to have that.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. And um, yeah, and providing me feedback like that would be so.
yeah, yeah,
And but yeah, I think everything else seems fine.
sounds good to me.
Okay,
All right, so next Wednesday, correct?
next Wednesday, and I'm gonna put it on my calendar. I'll actually check. I'm trying to come in on Wednesday, and I'll check the books when I walk in. So when we have
Okay.
a meeting, we can have the update about who's not picked up books.
Yep, that works for me.
Okay. All right.
All right, so
Okay.
let me know if you have any questions.
Okay. All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Talk to you later. Yep. Bye.